Alright, nerds, before we start, I wanted to mention that some things might change here, alright? So this is not final. This is Hytale's PvP gameplay duel. And they just released it for me. You're probably watching this a day after, it doesn't matter, right? So this is the PvP that got shown. And I'm gonna be analyzing it a bit. I saw it on, they did the live premiere, I saw it then, but now this is my first time watching the video and actually in detail. So I'm gonna be basically editing all the important things that I think has to be said in my opinion. Alright, so first thing first, we have a duel here. And immediately when I saw this, I was like, what is this piece of combat? I'm sorry guys, but I saw this and I cringed. I cringed so much. But then you see the details, alright? Then you see the details about it. So let's analyze a little bit. The duel begins and we do a special move which drains a bit of our stamina. Alright, Simon, I think, Simon is the other person, Hypixel, is responding with the same move. Alright, so he is about to hit us, but he misses. He completely misses, he whiffs, and we go in for the attack. This is a punish, alright, so this is a punish. Basically, in case you are not a huge nerd, although you can imagine what it is. Sorry if my voice is a bit chewy, I'm eating some Haribos. They're the best, man. Alright, anyhow, so basically, whenever somebody does an attack in most video games, they get a period where you can't do anything until the attack is done. For example, if somebody swings an axe, the time that it takes for the swung axe to go back to attacking position, in this period you can't do anything. If this is the case, if you can't actually do anything, which I believe that in Hytale you can't, which is amazing, and the other person hits you there, and you couldn't do anything about it, then that is a punish. So we can see that we punish Simon here because he's a big idiot and he whiffed. Here is the problem. Here is the huge issue with this fighting system. After Simon throws his axe at the ground like he's trying to mine for ores, like he's playing survival Minecraft here, and we hit his huge stupid head as a punish, I should be able to annihilate him now, but no, instead he can just go through it. He can just block if he wants. Like, did we even deal damage here? I don't think so, because you can hear the block sound. There, did you hear it on the third hit? Hit, block. There. And Simon here keeps hitting us. And we end up being destroyed by him. But he made a mistake. He makes a mistake and we end up being worse. So, if I were making this combat system, I would make it so that you can at least perform one combo. This way, the combat is way less spammy. You're not just spamming. You have turns that you take, like you do in any combat system in real life, even in real life. When you're sword fighting somebody, there are turns that take place. And obviously not like in Dungeons and Dragons or like in a board game. There are obviously things happening in between, but in general you can see the actions that people take are based on turns. Basically I attack, you parry or you block, and then you riposte. It doesn't matter, right? So the thing is that a good combat system should not be spammy. And when I say that, for example, I don't mean like people should not be pressing a bunch of buttons. I mean that people should not be, there shouldn't be two people getting rewarded the same when another person makes a huge mistake. For example, in Minecraft PvP, in 1.8, if your opponent makes a mistake, you can just break him. Alright. In this system, someone made a huge... I mean, is there anything worse that you can do in this game? Is there anything else that you can do in this game? Anything worse than this? He basically performed a special jump attack, like whatever you want, a ground pound, slow as ground pound, his axe or mace, whatever he's holding, ended up in the freaking stone, and we trade. Instead of us annihilating him, we trade. Alright, then after this, we have a jump cut. And we see, now we switch POVs, I guess. When we're fighting another person, I don't really know. But they start again with a jump attack, they really like the jump attack. And I did not understand what happened there. Alright, so the person with the daggers, yeah, we see its players. Basically whiffs. Alright, so right here, he has missed. You can see the daggers here, he has missed. But he immediately goes on attacking and we get hit. So right, the daggers have less openings. Oh, and you can see something interesting happen here. Alright, so we block them. Alright, we have blocked Zam. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And we hit back. Then he gets hit stand, question mark? Is this hit stand? And we go to block and they go to attack. So we block them and we hit them. Oh, but we get hit. Why did we get hit? Alright, I hope that this was a miscalculation from Hypixel, from Simon, that I think we are watching the POV of. If we did a miscalculation here, by the way, I'm referring to the person that we're looking through the eyes of. If we made a miscalculation here and we got off timing, and this is actually mechanic, then this is peak. Alright, because if you guys ever played Star Wars Battlefront 2, basically you could block at the perfect time to attack the other person and they could not attack you back. Which I believe it was a glitch, but it is a crazy mechanic to use in this game. If you learn it, you're gonna be better than most players. But here we see this really cool thing happening. Look at this dude. And he's running away. Alright, we have no stamina, so I think that's a poor decision. He has less health, but we have no stamina here, and I think he must have stamina because he did not block. You can see here, he weaves, we destroy them, and alright, a bunch of things just happened. Alright, so he weaves, he goes to try to anti-air us, we're going for the stab, we hit him, we hit them, and we go in the offensive. We miss a bunch of things and we get punished for it, and we get flanked backwards. Or did we just walk backwards? Let's see. Alright, this looks like we got flanked backwards, but maybe we disengaged, I don't know. Then again, we get hit once more in the air this time. And it looks like it affected us, but not much. So we whiff, but we keep spamming because you can spam as many attacks as you want, and you don't lose stamina, it doesn't cost anything. But here is the interesting part. I'm guessing that this is the Q of this weapon. So they perform the Q, and we go for the block with barely enough stamina to do anything. This stamina just got here, man. This stamina just spawned. He hit us directly with his Q, and we just lose this bit of stamina and we negate 100% of damage. What? Alright, I hope they changed this. They talked about changing the block. I hope they changed it. And we spam and he dies. Now we see some attacks being used for movement, but alright, this is a bit worrying. It appears that you can do this, alright, and instead of getting stuck like you should, because you just flung your huge heavy axe, you can just jump and move again. Which, I mean, it's fine. It's totally fine. As long as you cannot attack. So we spend this, we spend our Q here, which seems to drain stamina. Sorry, not drain stamina. The Q seems to not drain stamina in this weapon. Alright, so this person tried to block the Q, but obviously there are so many attacks that he ran out of stamina. So now he got hit a bunch of times, and he has no stamina, and we're just, beating him up now. But we did not have stamina either, so I guess they won. We have a simple bow in here, nothing to say about the bow, it's actually pretty cool. And here we have some questionable fighting. So that was simple, we attacked, he blocked, he ran out of stamina, we attacked him. But look at the health difference here. And look at this. If you see this person has more health than us, his health is about here, and he probably has more stamina, or at least the same as us, because we don't have any. He hit us, we're almost dead here, but he decides to run away. If he kept attacking, we would have won, but it doesn't matter. So, and he had stamina, because he just blocked. He got hit in the back, he still, at any time, could just turn around and kill us. Is this person bad at PvP? Maybe. Alright, again with the bow seems pretty cool. The bow seems amazing. Alright, and here the gameplay just gets way too spammy. Again, there's a huge Q here, I think it's a Q. And we just block it, we lose all of our stamina, and we get to walk out of it just fine. Yeah, actually there isn't anything else in this whole clip. The bow fights look amazing. Actually, the bow is perfect. I don't think there is anything else. The power should spread a bit out, I guess, I think. But yeah, just to recap, basically this system is a bit too shallow for me. I want to see a form of combo, a form of comboing, whatever this is. I want to see a form of tricking the other person for anything. We've seen no tricking here. And in general, I just want this system to have depth. And again, to have depth, it doesn't mean that you have to program like a For Honor combat system that is basically just the game, because that's not realistic for developers to do that. And it would not fit the video game. Instead, I'm asking of a way to basically punish people for doing something stupid. You cannot go around whiffing attacks and winning fights, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And no, obviously, like in Minecraft PvP in 1.8, if somebody makes one mistake, they can lose their whole health bar. Again, this does not seem extremely fair, but it's a system at least. And I know that this is extremely hard to do, otherwise many other games would implement it. And these people too are working with a game, they're working with a video game that is first and third person, so it's extremely hard to make a good combat system that works in both of these modes. But this is one of those things that I just don't have a great solution. The thing that I genuinely would do is like add a normal punish system, like an actual punish system. For example, if our friend, in this case, that our friend here weaves, like the first thing they saw, this guy weaves. He completely misses. He's playing survival Hytale here. He should not be able to get back up so fast if he gets hit. Because this, we're seeing just two people hitting each other and they can just still move around normally. These people are hitting each other with weapons and they can just move around. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments what you really think, because this might just not be my cup of tea. Maybe you see the depth in this system somehow, and honestly, please inform in the comments. Otherwise, I know that this game is in early access and many things would change. I just hope, and if the Hytale devs somehow were watching this, which I highly doubt, try to add like an actual skill-based system where I cannot just spam click and just hope that the other person doesn't have stamina. Like, for example, a great way is that if you get hit for a few seconds, you can't attack. If you get hit again, you can attack for fewer seconds, and if you get hit one or twice more times, you can just freely hit again. This would make it so that you basically get comboed. And it would be realistic, honestly, dude. If you get stabbed, you cannot just immediately go back attacking. But either way, it's just a video game. I think that would make more sense. If you get hit once, you get stun locked for a bit, depending on the attack. For example, the knives would get more hits than the hammer and stuff like that. I just hope people agree on me, because I want to play this game in PvP. I really want to play PvP on this game, and I really want it to be good. Now, if there is a whole other vision on it, then that's totally, completely fine. But my opinion is that there should be a way that, there is like rock, paper, scissors. Something should beat something else, and you can bait the other person into doing something that you want. And yeah, that was it. Subscribe now.